And she's like, you know what? Mac Miller's coming into town. He's performing at Red Rocks, and he's like a day-to-day lifestyle photographer. Have you ever done anything like that before? And I was like, oh yeah, 100%. So I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I'm just like, let's run it. So it's like literally 30 days till that shoot was happening.
Yeah.
Getting on YouTube, I'm asking camera people around town. I'm sneaking in literally, I was sneaking into venues
Yeah.
and nightclubs and like taking my homies and just shooting them and just trying to learn this camera, and it was really hard. I hate that Spotify doesn't allow you to, for a music artist, to
Yeah.
upload the music video to Spotify, you know?
Oh yeah, that should be something they do. I mean, because they have
Yeah,
like the
because
whole Canvas feature or whatever.
yeah, they have Canvas. And then when I started seeing that like podcasts have like 40-minute long videos on
Yeah.
Spotify you can watch, I was like, dang, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
why is not the music video there? I feel like they would destroy YouTube if they did that. I don't know why
Yeah.
they don't do that
I'm
to it.
sure it's probably in like the pipeline. I'm sure that's something they're probably going to do at some point. Because have you seen they've kind of adopted like the almost TikTok approach on Spotify, where it's like when you go to a playlist now,
Yeah,
some of them are like a For You page and you swipe through it.
yeah,
Yeah. That's
which
pretty
is
dope.
cool. Yeah, which is cool. I wish that too, I feel like should almost be a music video feature, not
Yeah.
like a loop thing, you know?
It should be like
But
yeah, like give you like a 15-second tease of the video, and then if you want to watch like the whole video or something like that, you can click it. That'd be pretty cool.
yeah, something.
Yeah.
And maybe there's like a separate, because I know they don't want to get people off their platform, you know?
Yeah, you don't want
But
to
if
take
it
them
was
to
like
YouTube.
yeah, like if it was a 15-second teaser of the video, but then when you click the video, it takes you to that artist's Spotify page where
Yeah.
on Spotify you can watch a music video, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, yeah. There should be some kind of like even if it's just on like the main page or something like that on your Spotify profile, you can have like a featured video or something. That would be cool.
Dude,
We
I'm
need
saying.
we need a right to Spotify, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because a lot of these platforms try to incorporate, like a lot of social media platforms try to create a way to promote music. Like they try to be centralized for music. Like I've seen lots of apps that are like Tinder, but for music discovery and shit. But like that shit really never takes off because people don't want to discover new music. They want to be like tricked into discovering new music. That's why TikTok works
So
so well
funny.
because like they're watching stupid cat videos or whatever it is, and then they see a dope song and they're like, oh shit, and then it resonates with them, and that's how it's like people don't often download apps and shit to discover music, they're already on something and then they discover it, so.
That's so true, right? We all want to discover new music, but we don't want to discover new music. We
Yeah,
want to just like accidentally be like, "Oh, whoa, this is dope!" Like
yeah,
yeah, especially like in the metal scene, right?
hmm,
Everyone wants to be like so edgy of like, "Oh, nobody knows this band, only I know,"
yeah,
because
yeah. Yeah,
funny.
I mean, that's been one of my biggest challenges of like, being in the music creation, content creation space of like trying to expose new artists and stuff. It's like everyone always says all the time, like, oh, I want to discover new bands. I want to discover new artists. Like, they don't. They want to listen to the same 10 bands they've always listened to. They want to
Yeah,
like accidentally discover something cool. And then it's like they hear in Stranger Things or something. And they're like, oh, fuck yeah, this is dope.
yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
So, dude, I mean, your like origin story is so crazy. Like, it's like one of like the weirdest like start to finish like kind of things I've seen. So, like, you started out. You walk me through this. Like, give me your villain origin story. You started out as a photographer, or were you doing
Yeah,
music before that?
yeah, no, it's so crazy, man. When I was just a little kid growing up, I could like never sit still.
Mm-hmm.
ADHD, fucking autism, learning disability, like everything,
Yeah.
And I was just super always like having to do things. And I did a lot of like sports, just like
Yeah.
activities and like sport stuff, art stuff, and this like skating, skateboarding, that type of thing too. And my mom was an art teacher, dad is an English teacher, so there's lots of like literature art. There's lots of actual like physical art
Mm-hmm.
in the household. And I played like when I went to go play college basketball, I was like nationally ranked in the country
Oh,
on
damn.
ESPN. I was a top 100 like athlete.
Yeah, you're pretty tall, right?
Yeah, pretty tall, 6'3",
Yeah.
6'2", 6'3".
It's hard to tell
I
in
was
music videos and shit, but you look like you got some height on you.
yeah, dude. I was 5'8" in the eighth grade, and that's when I first started dunking.
Oh
And
Jesus.
yeah, yeah. So, but
I'm
5'8",
still
that's short.
I'm still hoping I can dunk one day. I'm trying to get there, man. Hope I grow.
Yeah. So like it was weird. Like I hated sports, but I just did it.
Yeah.
It was such a strange like predicament. Like I was never really into like I didn't really know like the sports history of things, or I never followed it. I just like played it and kicked ass in it, you
Yeah.
know. Um, but then from doing that, I went to college. I went to go play basketball at a school in like Casper, Wyoming. Um, I just didn't have like the ACT score to go to Division 1, so I had to go to Division 1 junior college. And my first year up there, I like get a knee surgery on my left knee,
Oh
and
damn.
then I can't play the whole season. And then I had a red shirt. Right, I come back the next year, all healed up, ready to go, kicking ass. I was getting ready to make a verbal commitment to Cal Poly to go play there. And then boom, same knee again, another surgery, and that was it.
Damn.
And then my mom just sends me this little cheap Olympus camera
Yeah.
in the mail. I just start like taking photos around. Like there's one alley in Casper, Wyoming, so I would go to this one alley and I'd set it on a tripod. I'd walk in front of the camera, put it on a self timer, and like pose
Yeah.
and just like do little like things like that. And just then I started to see like this guy online like hand painting shoes, like Jordans or like different like Air Forces, and just customizing or restoring shoes. And I was like, that's dope. I want to do that. So I like order all this paint. I start painting shoes. Next thing you know, all my teammates are like, yo, bro, uh, how much, you're going to charge me to customize these shoes or whatever. So my dorm room turned into like a Foot Locker. I
No
had just tons
shit.
of shoe boxes in the corner, and I just had like my desk was like a art paint station,
Yeah.
and I was just like painting all night long with my little desk lamp while my roommate would sleep,
Yeah.
and I would just paint all night, and I started making money that way, bro. It was crazy, and then like people at the school would know about it, and they started giving me their shoes, and then in the town, then people start shipping me stuff, so I got really into like doing the shoe business, and that's when I first saw that like I was like, wow, like I'm actually glad this injury happened, because like I said, I was never really into playing basketball. It's just something I did,
Yeah.
like
You're like
I
I'm tall.
thought like
Fuck it. I can throw a ball. Like.
yeah, it's like tall, cool, athletic, like
Right.
like cool. I guess that's what I do. My parents, very traditional, like go to college, get a job.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we can't pay for it, so you better take this scholarship. Da 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 da. And so that's what I did. But yeah, so I just started just painting in my room with this bum knee of mine, and then I started getting into painting on female bodies too, because
Okay.
the same guy who inspired me to paint shoes. His name was John Bourne, and he would paint shoes, and then I saw him start to like do these crazy portraits and murals on like a woman's body. I
Yeah.
was like, that's dope. I want to do that too. So I started doing that, and then I'd obviously take pictures of the shoes, the girls that I paint, everything. And then from there is when I really was like, damn, you know what? I love photography, and I want to get into the photography realm.
Yeah.
And so photography shit started happening, and I was out one night at this little like nightclub lounge thing, right?
Yeah.
And I meet this lady named Rue Black, and I was wearing this crazy ass shirt, bro, like really wild. And she's like, "Yo, I love your shirt. What do? You look like you do something. That's what you
Yeah.
look like you do something." And I was like, "This is when I just started getting to photography. I did my first photo shoot ever the prior day, right?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a photographer." I'm like, I talked it up real big
Yeah.
time. Like I
Yeah.
was a big time photographer. She's like, "Oh, let me see some of your work." So I just had this one photo shoot, show my work. She goes, "You got any other stuff?" I go, "Oh no, I lost all my hard drives. Blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
Right.
I got."
Fake it
She
till
goes,
you
"Well, this
make it,
look."
man.
Yeah, yeah. I literally fake it till you make it, and I show her this shoot, and she's like, "You know what? Mac Miller's coming into town. He's performing at Red Rocks, and he's like a day-to-day lifestyle photographer. Have you ever done anything like that before?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, 100%."
Yeah.
I was like,
That's my
I
main
was like,
thing.
let's run it. Yeah, I was like, let's run it. So it's like literally 30 days till that shoot was happening.
Yeah.
And so I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I'm getting on YouTube. I'm asking camera people around town. I'm sneaking in literally, I was sneaking into venues
Yeah.
and nightclubs, and like taking my homies and just shooting them and just trying to learn this camera. And it was really hard. I could not figure it out. But then eventually I kind of got a little hang of it.
Yeah.
Comes up, shoot him, and then that just led into went really well and led into a bunch of other
Man.
artists and people, and then from there,
Was
I
she
did an
like his
art gallery.
manager or something?
Huh?
Was she like his manager or
Yeah, she's
something?
PR. Yeah,
Mm,
she was like a PR, and so
man.
from there, yeah, man, just went to a bunch of photography for shooting for artists, for shooting for brands, big, small, all that. And then I got into the music just like 2 years and 8 months ago or so when I put out my first song and just slowly developed, building that more and more, and my
Yeah.
photography career is super established, as you know, and I'm just trying to focus on the music stuff, and that's also really like growing, and I'm finding the sound, all that shit. So.
So, have you ever reached out to the shoe guy, John? Have you ever like
Oh
connected
yeah,
with
it's
him?
crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I still stay in touch with him, and
That's so
we met
cool.
up like a couple years ago, and he knows like he was such a influence in my creative process.
Man.
I don't think I would have got into that stuff if I wouldn't have seen his stuff back in the
Yeah.
day. That was like was another outlet to be like, damn, like that's fire. I wanted to do that.
Right. Yeah, because I mean that's something that I didn't even know that was like a whole scene or anything, like a whole market, like painting shoes. I didn't realize that
Dude,
was even a thing.
yeah, I didn't know either. And here I am, right, thinking like,
Yeah.
my first job ever, I was a fucking busser at this coffee shop, and I
Yeah.
hated it. Cleaning dishes, your shirt gets all wet. You got a wet shirt the whole shift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I started painting these shoes, and I'm getting like 100, $200, like
Right.
per like that 250, even 300 sometimes would
Yeah.
depend. And so,
Way more than
you know,
cleaning napkins out of fucking cups and shit,
Uh,
right?
yeah, bro, it sucks. So like,
Yeah.
I'm in college. I'm on a scholarship. I don't have any expenses, except my phone bill or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And so I started making all that cash, and I was
Yes.
just like, shit, this is great, you know?
That's fucking killer, dude. So what
Yeah.
year was Mac Miller? What year did that happen?
Mac Miller, I think was 2016.
Man, that's wild. So like, not a long time. Like, I mean, you started in 2016, and like already, like, I mean, when? So
You know,
did you immediately start get gigs coming in from Mac Miller, or was there like a little lull in between?
yeah, well, this is crazy thing. So Mac Miller happens, right?
Yeah.
I'm there really early at sound check.
Mm-hmm.
This guy starts coming down the stairs. Another artist. I don't
Yeah.
know who this artist is, right? And he sees the camera on me. He's like, "Yo, you a touring photographer?" And I'm not. I wasn't at
Right.
the time.
Right. Right.
Like I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
And
Yeah.
and and by this time, I had a little bit of like a portfolio of work,
Yeah.
to show him. So I'm showing him some stuff, and I like shot some photos of this girl named Aluna George, and I was like, "Oh, bro, this is fire. This is dope." He's like, "Get my number." And he's got all his homies like kind of waiting in the Uber, like, "Hey, we gotta go. Come on, come on." So he gives me his phone, puts his number in. He goes, "Tory Lanez."
Oh man.
So yeah, the rapper Tory Lanez. And so that's how I started doing some shoot stuff for him. Um, and then I started to kind of make a name for myself in Denver,
Yeah.
Colorado, right? Of like shooting these different artists. And then this is what really changed the game for everything. I get a phone call from this girl named Chloe Ruth, right? And Chloe's like, "Yo, Nathan," still like a cool friend of mine to this day. And she's like, "Yo, Nathan, um, I heard about you. I saw you do some shoots for like Redman and Mac Miller, Tory Lanez, and all this stuff." And she's like, "I got this new artist I booked. He's gonna perform at the Roxy. His first time ever in Denver. His name's Post Malone." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I heard his new song popping off, White Iverson." Like, yeah, I'm super down. And so I shoot Post Malone at his first show ever in Denver, Colorado. There's like maybe like 150 people there, 200 people, and that's how I like met his manager Dre London and his DJ at the time, FKI First or Good Job First. And I took this portrait shot of Post
Yeah.
Malone that was like, this, and he's like grinning or whatever, and that really set it off. At the time, that was when like Instagram had a really like viralness with like the photos,
Right.
and that just went nuts. And it was in tons of magazines, and just it was everywhere. Still to this day, around Christmas, people use that photo and say they rip the Home Alone like
Oh.
image. They use Post Malone and they say Post Malone.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and that really set it off. That's what really took the career off. And then once I kind of dominated Denver as like the guy in photography, I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. I need to go
Yeah.
to LA and do this shit like for real, for real. And that's when I moved out to LA and started that whole process.
So did you get like a lot of hate early on because like you did there was obviously a good amount of luck in that very beginning process because you met that person, that key person. I mean, everybody, no matter no matter how much skill you have, there's always a little bit of luck involved in getting to that next
Oh,
level.
always,
You had to
always,
have
yeah.
somebody
It's
say
luck
yes
and
to you.
timing.
Yeah, it's a
Luck and
timing and
timing
timing.
so much.
So did
Yeah.
you get a lot of hate from like other local photographers that have been grinding? Because like that photography is obviously a game that people grind out for years and years, and some make no money doing it. And like you were like right place, right time, right skill set, and just the fucking again your confidence and your machismo or whatever you want to call it. You had the goods to back it up, but you also you fucking faked it till you made it. So did you? But yeah,
Yeah.
did you get any kind of like hate from like the other local guys?
I I think I definitely did, but it was like quiet hate.
Yeah.
Um, but the thing in like any business and any type of like, artistic entrepreneurship, right, is
Right.
you gotta be really good at what you do, but you also gotta be assertive as fuck. You
Mm-hmm.
you you cannot be a quiet artist who's starting out and make it. Like being a quiet artist and shy and not putting yourself out there, like that won't work,
Right.
because there's so many other artists who are also competing for that spot. It's a competition. It's a fucking game at that. It's a sport in itself at the end of the day, you
Yeah.
know and you have to really like develop, why is someone going to choose you, contact you, pay you over someone else. And it boils down to three things, really. It boils down to your work, what it looks like. Do they like you and like shooting with you as a person, and do they trust you? Because you attain these images of this person,
Yeah.
that you're responsible for. And that's what it really boils down to. Because
Yeah.
you can, and this too. If you're good, and if you're good and you take a long time, but you're not like a shitty person, you know,
Yeah.
people make the effort. But if you're not very good and you take a long time and you're a shitty person,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna be like next. So you
Yeah.
gotta have one or the other.
I mean, people naturally want to work with somebody that's easy to work with. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's the best thing you can do is like, yeah, not be a dickbag. Have a good attitude, and also like being easy to work with. You can, I think like kind of like what you're saying, like being easy to work with can almost make up for where you might lack in other
Lack of
areas, like
effort.
talent
Yeah.
wise. Yeah, for
So
sure.
true, bro. So true. Like, biggest thing is just communication.
Yeah.
There's a lot of content creators where it's like, it's crazy. It's like a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like where you just fucking can't reach them.
Yeah.
It's
Uh huh.
crazy. Like you just literally can't get a hold of people. And you can do yourself a huge service of like, if something's not done, or,
Yeah.
you still need time, just respond that it's not done,
Yeah.
and it'll be done in
Just an
approximately
update,
this
giving
time.
people
Yeah.
updates.
People hate not being able to
Yeah.
reach you and feel in the dark.
Right. Or feeling ignored or anything, or feeling big time to shit. And
Yeah.
like just being nice in general like can get you so far in life. I've found like
So
just like
far.
it's such an underrated quality. Like so everyone thinks that you have to be like yeah, you have to be assertive like we were talking earlier, but like you don't have to be a dick. You can be like somebody that other people want to be around, and that alone can take you so much further in life.
Yeah, huge. I mean, shit, bro. Like, all those things add up so much, right? Because like
Yeah.
when I started the photography stuff, like even though like the growth of it all happened relatively fast,
Yeah,
I put in so much grind
for
hours.
sure.
Like I put in so much time learning the skill to be as skilled with the lighting and the camera and the lenses and the settings and the editing and the exporting, and just the angles, everything about it. So
Yeah.
the reason why it happened fast is because I slaved
Right.
over like and obsessed over like learning this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I will always say, and like I said, in any art form, to have like success, it definitely does take all that, but it also requires too a little bit of luck and a little bit of good timing. You
Yeah.
got to have that come together as well.
100%. Yeah, it's all got to come together because, yeah, like we said, like there's plenty of dudes out there that are great, grinding away, not making any money doing it. And then there's, yeah, the opposite is also true.
Mhm.
So you moved to LA after that. You conquered Denver. You got all the last juice out of Denver, and then you moved to
Yeah, all the
LA.
last juice. Conquer your city and then
Yeah,
move to LA. You know,
yeah.
that's the game plan.
So what happened when you got to LA?
Dude, when I got to LA, I was not really sure what I wanted to do or how I was gonna do it. I just took like 1 month of I just took a month of exploring, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm not gonna do shit. Let me just like see what LA's about.
Yeah,
And I stayed with my aunt's boyfriend, who who I had never met. I
yeah,
just rolled up to his house, and I love him. His name's Ralph, and takes me to this like little tiny room. There's just a mattress on the floor, nothing else. I could literally spread my arms out, left
yeah.
and left and right, and touch the sides of the wall. And I sat down on that bed, and I was like, "Damn, what the fuck did I just do?" Like, I literally just like
What
I
I've
like
been
ended
to.
my life in LA
Yeah,
to I mean, I ended my life in Denver to just like come to LA and just, you know, roll it all
right,
on the table.
right.
But it ended up working out, you know. I got here and then I just started like literally walking into different stores trying to like create an independent contractor situation with these different brands, doing shoots for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what I did. I had like these different brands on like retainers, you
Nice.
know, where like I would do like X amount of shoots every month for them and they'd pay me X amount of dollars, you know. And so that's how I started to build clientele with brands. And then I'm shooting artists on the side too. So like all these different revenues of different types of photography stuff, product photography, fashion, portraiture, everything, you know, just coming into one play.
So when you got to LA, who was the first like artist that you got a hold of to do a shoot with?
Man, the first big artist. Who was the first big artist in LA? Um, some of the first big artists, I don't know if they were the first, but G Easy was one of them. YG was one of them. Um, oh, that's right. Damn, I forgot. I did a ton of more, a lot more stuff for Post Malone.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, that I was out here. That's
Oh, still there? We lost him.
here. The that was like the person I started doing some stuff. I did some shoots for this Bel Air campaign. It's like alcohol company that he was doing something for. I did some stuff for that for him. Um,
Sorry, you cut out there for a minute. So you said you were doing Posty in LA, and then you what was after that?
Oh yeah, I was doing Posty in LA. There was this like Bel Air campaign, this like
Okay,
champagne thing he was doing. I did like some shooting for that. Yeah.
nice. So
Mhm.
2020, everything changes for everybody, obviously.
Yeah.
And then, so what did that have an impact on you to start making music? Like, what was the transition for you there? Like to because obviously at this point you're probably making a pretty decent living doing
Mhm.
photography, right? Like, I mean
Oh
that's your
yeah,
main gig. You got brand deals and
dude. I
shit. Like,
I had a I had a strip club budget. I didn't know like I wish I wouldn't have done that.
yeah,
But like it was just, you know, here I came from this little town, Louisville, Colorado,
yeah, yeah.
to then just, you know, like coming to LA was
Right,
like a kid in a candy shop. I was like, bro, I want to experience all this crazy shit.
right. A little bit of money in your
Um,
pocket, like,
yeah, and I was meeting the craziest types of people, you
yeah.
know, like not normal people, people who like, you know, are multi-millionaires and
Mm-hmm.
just living like these crazy lifestyles. And I'm like, yo, this shit fucking exists. Like I thought this was only some movie shit, you
Right,
know?
right. I thought it was just like a Motley
And
Crue
so
shit. What the fuck?
yeah, bro, I'm telling you, I mean, there are some wild stories of just shit I've seen and like how people live. I'm just like, this is real?
Yeah.
Like surreal moments of things. And like that was just crazy. But yeah, 2020 comes around. Look, here's what happened. In 2019, this is what really changed the game. 2019, I did this fine art photography gallery called
Mm-hmm.
Nightmares. And there were these 6 photographs, and each one of these photographs was named after a different insecurity that I've like been through in my life or I know I will at one day experience. And
Yeah.
so it was the 6 names were Do You Give a Fuck? Am I alone? Can you hear me? Why can't I feel anything? Is this how it ends? And uh, am I good enough? Right. And so I do this gallery and I'm like, what's a really dope art medium that no other photographer has done, at least that I know of, right? And I was like, what if there were songs that I make that correlate with the photographs and depict and tell the story of like what that image may mean a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And I'd never thought of doing music. I had never done music before. It's not that I don't like music or that I wasn't into it. It just was like, was something again coming from a small town. You can't do that, like
Right.
that's the mentality. Like, how could you do that? You're
Yeah.
from Louisville, like population 16,000. That how So I like kind of stumble around with it a little bit, and I make these six terrible songs, fucking horrendous. Um, and I put a couple out, and I've taken them down since then.
Yeah.
But they were terrible. But I knew that I really loved doing that, and I wanted to get much better at it because it was a whole nother level of creativity,
Yeah.
and storytelling. And so that's when I was like, okay, I really want to get into this music stuff. And that art gallery nightmares got me really into that music shit. And that was a
Yeah.
crazy experience itself too. Like it was only a 4 hour pop up. Took me like 3.5 months to prepare. Um, it was oversold out. Like 800 people came. We did groups of 100. I didn't know that many people were going to come, and it was a small space.
Yeah.
And I had like a speaker who was like selling each piece on the walls, like a perfect like in out transaction, get out.
Yeah.
And I had these really big uh, prints, right? Really big prints hanging on the wall. And she would tell like each story. She had a microphone and everything, and she'd bring me in, and I'd like thank everybody.
Oh
It was like a
shit.
whole like real LA experience type of thing.
Yeah.
And then at the end, if someone wanted to purchase a print, they could purchase it, and then it would be made and shipped to them later. And so I sold these big prints at $2,500 a print, and I
Nice.
sold 25 of them.
Damn.
So I made a good like amount of cash, and I was also like shocked by that too. I was like, damn, like fuck, like this is crazy. Like I'm doing it. It's like
Yeah.
again, it was just that didn't exist in the world that I came from, and so many kids all across the U.S. Right? They don't live this like wild LA lifestyle and all these like crazy opportunities.
Right.
They don't think that they can do it or that it's even remotely possible. Just like I thought, it kind of just stumbled into like levels. Like, oh, I'm here. Oh,
Yeah.
that's possible. Oh,
Yeah.
this. It's just like kept jumping.
Yeah.
And that's what got me into the whole music movement and things. I've been progressively, just finding the sound and just my lane in my pocket of stuff and exactly how I want it. So it's coming along.
So who was inspiring you to make music at that point? Like what artists were you
Um,
listening to?
man, I was listening to Lil Peep a lot, XXXTentacion. Listening to a lot of Manson,
Nice.
um, a lot of Green Day. There's this band from back in the day called the Kinks.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, so I was listening to the Kinks a lot. Um, and I wasn't like a real music buff,
Yeah.
I wasn't like, I was just more of like, hey, I put on songs that are good. Like
Yeah.
if I hear something I like, I'm gonna play it. But then when I started to do the music stuff, I started to deep dive more and more into like different elements and pockets. But who I loved and always listened to was that band Stained with Aaron
Oh
Lewis.
yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking love it. And I've been a huge Stained fan since high school.
Nice. Yeah, that's a band that is pretty underrated when it comes to like the when people like talk about the big post grunge like bands when you go back and look like they have a lot of bangers. They got some good
Bangers.
tracks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were just man, yeah, they're great.
Yeah, I mean that's gotta be wild, like you said, coming from a small town, like not coming up with a lot, and like you don't realize that these, like you probably didn't even realize that making money off photography was even an option when you were a kid. Like
Dude,
there's so many things. Like I remember when I was a kid, like I wanted to be a rock star. That was my thing. Like I wanted to play in bands and stuff. I wanted to be a
yeah.
musician, And like I didn't realize that there were other avenues you could go down and still be in the business, still be in the music entertainment business. Like they don't
So
teach you that
true.
stuff when you're a kid. Like hey, you can try to be a rock star, but also you could be a publicist, you could be a marketing strategist, you could be you work for a label. Like there's so many different, or photographers, so many different avenues you can go down and still be involved in the industry you love without actually being in the front of the camera or mic or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah, isn't that funny, man? Like, it was probably the same thing with you, right? It's like you think that the only option is
Yeah.
like, I gotta go work for somebody.
Right.
Fuck. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to go work a 9 to 5. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I was thinking. I was like, how am I gonna do this shit? You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do that. Like that, yeah, not it. You know?
Yeah, I think there's like, I mean, I feel like with your mentality and your like disposition, I think like you were gonna be successful no matter what path you went down. Like you probably would have been in the NBA if you didn't fuck up your knee. So now it's like, all right, I'm gonna go the other route. I'm gonna do something else and be successful at this instead, man. Because I mean, there's certain people that had that outlook, like you said. It's like I'm not gonna do the 9 to 5 thing, you know? Like,
Yeah. No, it's sad too, right? Is like a lot of a lot of people struggle with having a pivot in their life.
yeah,
When one thing doesn't work out, they have a really hard time accepting that
yeah,
and then being able to pivot to something else,
right,
you
right,
know? And life is literally all about like pivoting.
yeah,
And it's okay to have something not work out and pivot, and vice versa. It's okay to have something really going well and you just being like, you know what? I know I built this, but I'm not, you know, I'm not married to this.
yeah,
I can also do something else and that coincides, or
yeah,
break off completely and do something singular with like the new thing that they're doing, you know? And just, you know, with social norms, right?
mm-hmm.
A lot of things, it's changing now, but it was so, you know, set in of like either get a job or do one thing, whatever it is you create or do. And that's what you do for the next 30 years, then you retire,
Yeah,
you know? And I think the coolest shit right now that's happening in our time, and a lot of it has to do with social media, is people are forever evolving and forever pivoting and
yeah,
being multifaceted in many different outlets, you know? And that's fucking awesome to see, man, because it just like allows for so much more creative juices and energy put into the universe for just new shit to happen, you know,
mm-hmm.
and new art, new creation, new people, new everything, you know? And I love seeing that. I'm a huge advocate for that. Like I would even go to my mom's high school because, like I said, she was a high school art teacher, and I would go talk to the kids there at the same fucking high school I went to. And I was looking at all of them and I'm just being like, man, all these little fuckers right here think that like this is it. And just
Right,
like I did when I was going to school there, I was like, this is what the world is like, Louisville, Colorado,
yeah,
you know. And I just told them, I was like, you guys, this is such a minute portion of what your life, you know, can be and of what else is out there in the world.
yeah,
It's a matter of you guys taking the risk, the leap of faith, branching out, going into the world and just saying, fuck it. We're rolling the dice. We're going to see if things happen or not. And if they don't happen, it's not the end of the world. You can go back, you can pivot, you can do something else. It's just, you know, you can't make decisions out of fear. And that's what my grandmother, right before she passed away, she was like, just it's such a cliche thing, and you're like, you know, you think it's so just obvious to not make decisions out of fear, but so much of our life is already foretold just by the mere fact of so many people make decisions out of fear and not out of passion. And when
yeah,
you move making decisions out of passion, that's when you are ultimately at like your highest potential of being like, fuck, we got to make it happen.
yeah,
But if you're always taking the safe route and always moving fearful, and always the deciding factor is fear and worry, then you're going to stay boxed. You're not going to, you know, you're not going to grow. You got to step out a little bit to grow, you know,
that's
literally growing pains, you know?
yeah, that's where it comes from. No shit.
Yeah. You know, so
Yeah. No, I mean, I think one of the scariest things to do is like, especially in like a creative space, or in a creative career, is to leave or pivot when something's already working, but knowing that like you kind of see the future almost. You can like see the writing on the walls. Like you're like, this is working for me now, but I know this isn't long term. I need to pivot and do something else right now. I need because like when you have nothing going on and you take a leap of faith, you're not risking a lot because you got nothing else going on anyway. It's like it's
Yeah.
scary because like yeah, any kind of leap into a new thing is scary, but it's like well. I fucking hate my job at McDonald's anyway, so I don't give a fuck, you know. But like when you got something going already, something grinding and working for you, and you're like, I love this, I like this, but I also want to do this, I want to try this, I see this being the future. That can be like a scary moment. You know, I mean, I relate it to like what I do, like on TikTok. I have a good following there, right? You know, I've
Yep.
built some stuff up, but like I know I can't just live on TikTok. Like I can't just only create. I could probably create content on TikTok and do fine, and and keep building that, and I am going to keep building that. But like I also have to like, okay, what else is next? Like what? That's why I start doing the podcast, I start doing the Twitch
Mhm.
and shit. You know, it's like you got to pivot a little bit with times, and you got to kind of like just take that little bit of risk and move what's not working, but I hope that it works out in the end.
Yeah, right. And that's what like you just said. You're pivoting, and then you're
Yeah,
also trying to evolve and expand on what you already have built. And
yeah,
like that's awesome to see more and more people doing that now instead of what people used to more commonly think, which is "fuck, I'm trapped. I can only do
yeah.
this." You know,
Right.
so that's a huge, huge, huge fucking thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, getting too comfortable can be detrimental, like especially to creativity and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah. Like always, always pushing boundaries, always trying new shit, because
Yeah.
that's how as you know, you're gonna make big growth and strides. So.
So you started making these bangers. What was it, like some emo rap stuff that you were doing early on?
Yeah, it was really just yeah, in the beginning, I grew up mainly on a very 50-50 split
Mm-hmm.
of hip hop and rock, right? And so those two worlds of hip hop and the rock world um, were like very, head and head with each other, right?
Yeah.
And um, so when I started to make the music, fuck, dude, I just didn't know shit about
Yeah.
it. Like, telling you, I didn't know shit. And so all this has been just such a new learning curve for me and figuring everything out. And it's just progressively became harder and harder. It started like the
Yeah.
kind of emo rap rock type of stuff to then more pop punk alternative rock stuff to just what it is now and where I feel like, aha, this is my pocket, my lane is very new, modern, new metal, blending lots of elements from hip hop, rock, metal, pop, just kind of trap metal, everything, just very like a blended new thing.
Yeah, because when I met you, you were doing more of a pop punk vibe. Like you even had like the Liberty spikes and everything. And
Yeah.
like I think you did something with Travis Barker. I know you photographed him, but I think did you do a
Yeah.
song with him too?
No, no, no song with him. Just like some photo shoot,
Yeah.
photograph thing for my headshot stuff.
I know you did that song with Mod Sun and Swako too. So like you were definitely in like that more of that new punk, pop punk arena. And
Yeah,
then
and then the song I did with Swayco was I was in 20 it was yeah, beginning of 2021. Um and that was kind of like the first real like new metal song
yeah.
that I did. And I was just I don't just like anything, it takes a while to kind of figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just you know, like fuck like I was telling you about it, my new song, the Hangman,
Mm-hmm.
is just like everything of like what I want my music to be a lot of. And that shit's fucking cranking.
Yeah, man. It was like because I've seen the progression from like the pop punk to like the new metal stuff, like almost like the industrial vibe, and I've seen it like I've watched you kind of metamorphosize over the last couple years, and like
Yeah,
it's be
yeah.
cool. It's cool. Like I'm starting to feel like with the Hangman, we're starting to see your final form. Like we're getting
Yeah,
there. We're
dude.
getting itching closer.
Yeah,
It's
that's how
fucking
I feel.
great.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's what helped me a lot to figure it out was sometimes when you're, you know, doing the music artist thing, there's so many voices and so many people in your ear
Mm-hmm.
telling you like this is what you need to do. And in your head you want to do another direction, but
Yeah.
someone else is, saying, "Hey, you need to do this because it's more popular."
Right. Right.
And this is how it's more mainstream,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when you have people you trust in your career and helping steerhead things, it's easy. It's you're very easy to be manipulated,
Mm-hmm.
and almost like kind of like brainwash and be like, okay, well, all right, we'll do that then.
Yeah.
And there was a little bit of that going on when I first started the music stuff, and you know, I've completely learned that like I don't listen to anybody in terms of like what my creative sound and direction is going to be. I'm doing it,
Yeah.
because I'm the one at the end of the day who has to live with it.
Yeah. You have to put your
And
name on it. Like,
yeah, it's my face, it's my name, it's
yeah.
my money, it's everything, that I'm investing in my time into it. Um, so once that mindset shifted, I really started to like sink into like, finally, all right, now I'm kind of really getting more into like, what the fuck I want to do here.
Yeah.
And that's when this like kind of like you're saying, this kind of new final, what I feel is kind of going to be the final form that continues to kind of polish the edges around,
Yeah.
is kind of thing right now.
Yeah, it's really cool too because you have that like artistic background like with photography. Like it really transcends and comes through in all the visuals you do for music videos and any content you make. Like it's like I mean, you're doing shit in these videos that most bands would never even think of doing. Like it really takes me back to the old school Marilyn Manson days, or even Tool. Like just those music videos that you would watch that make you super uncomfortable. Like
Yeah.
every video I watch from you, I swear to God, I'm always like, ugh, like, but in a good way, you know. But I'm always like,
Yeah.
God, this makes me very uncomfortable to watch. The last one with the I can't remember the name of the song right now. It escapes me. But with you get the fucking thing in your mouth, like pulling your mouth open and
Oh
your
yeah,
eye
yeah, rotten apple.
right now. But yeah, I'm like watching that. I'm like, ah, shit. It's like a horror movie. Like,
Yeah, that was crazy. I was in the vac bed.
oh yeah, the
Most people,
vac bed. Oh, that was so freaky.
yeah, most people don't even know what that is. A vacuum bed is like, it's like live art. It's kind of like a BDSM thing too.
Yeah,
But yeah, there's a lot of people being like, "Yo, what the fuck is that?"
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, it's not like a very common thing. So that was just cool to incorporate that in the video, because I think that was a lot of time like people seeing something like that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, so you're obviously doing things your own way now, and like you're doing, you're doing a kind of music that isn't necessarily like trendy, and
Exactly, and
yeah,
fucking yeah, I
yeah,
love that you said that,
yeah,
because for me, man, it's just like photography.
yeah.
It was always about the art.
Mm-hmm.
But when I first started the music, I had so much like business people in my ear
Mm-hmm.
saying this, and I just trusted them on it because I was new to the music
Right.
scene. They
Yeah, you're
were
taking their.
not,
Yeah, they know what they're doing,
And
right?
so I was like, all right, I gave too much of myself into their hands,
Yeah.
and so now it's like it's just fucking great, bro. I love where things are going, and like, dude, the song yesterday, the Hangman, did 25,000 streams on
Dude, it's your top
Spotify
song on
alone yesterday.
Spotify right now, which is crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
top song. It's fucking cranking.
yeah.
I'm just like, I'm loving it.
Do you
Gained a whole new 45,000 followers on TikTok from this in the past 6 days. Like, it's crazy.
has TikTok been one of the main driving forces you think in getting that song out there?
100%. This
Yeah.
song would have not taken off if it was not for TikTok, which is the crazy thing. Literally, the first day the song came out, posted a TikTok, and TikTok has like cycles. I feel like,
Oh yeah.
where like sometimes you're just fucking hitting, every video's going
Yeah.
crazy, and I was in a bad cycle, and I posted this video. I was like, fuck it, and I usually am always like watching, seeing how it's doing, and I like walked away from my phone for a
Mm.
while. I was like, I don't even want to look at this shit. It's gonna piss me off and get me
Right,
discouraged.
right. I know that feeling.
Yeah, yeah, right. And I open up my phone, and it's like 500,000 views. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, let's go. I just
Yeah.
fucking freaked out, because he spends so much time as
Mm-hmm.
an artist, bro, like trying to make shit happen. And it's all those little like success moments that keep you going. And then, it's at 500,000, then a million, then 1.2 million, da 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 da. And then, like right now it's sitting at 1.9 million. But then from that video to right now, day 7, I've had 3 other videos also hit a million on that same song.
That's amazing. Dude, it's
So it's
so
like,
cool.
it's just cranking,
Yeah.
and I love that. I love it that it's this type of song,
Yeah.
and I'm not here to make music that's the most, what we consider most popular or most mainstream.
Yeah.
I just want to make shit that I like and that feels like angsty. I like this type of music and this style of music and visuals
Mm-hmm.
because it's very like a cinematography, very like movie driven types of
Mm-hmm.
sound, and that's what I'm super into, like that whole arts aspect of like storytelling and almost creating like these type of like caricatures within the song where the song is like a movie, just like my song Tooth Taker.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was a character created from past experience or current things or things that I know of different people and made into a positive situation in like this like almost heroic type of character, you know?
Yeah, yeah, no, like I said, it definitely transcends. Like you can see it in the videos and the visuals, and like, and then yeah, when you hear the music afterwards, even with it, with the videos obviously are great, but even afterwards, you hear the music, you can like, you get that feeling, you get that sense, like that thematic, feel to the tracks.
Yeah,
And
huge. And ever since I just started doing just what the fuck I want to do and just not, everything's been happening.
yeah,
So all the people give me advice of what I should do was like the least amount of shit happening.
yeah,
Now me just being like, just this is what we're doing. All the stuff's happening. You know, like I got the Shaggy Two Dope of Insane Clown Posse tour fucking coming up. Like that's my first tour that I got booked for.
damn, that's awesome.
That's July 19th, August 12th, 24 cities, 24 days in a
Hell
row. That's
yeah,
gonna be crazy. Um, so my vocals are gonna be fried after that tour.
yeah, for sure.
No off days. But yeah, it's just fucking cool, man. I just want to keep the momentum going and just I want my music to find the right people who like my type of shit.
Yeah.
That's what, you know.
Real quick, we got to shout out Angie in the chat. She's blowing it up. Angie 7613. She keeps blowing up with the Hangman. Chang Gang's here for Nathan. So
Let's
much
go,
love and
Angie.
hanging out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, once the song blows up on TikTok, like anytime anything gets over 500,000 views, I feel like no matter how good it is, like people are gonna start shitting on it. You're gonna start getting hate. Like, and obviously with your music and your vibe, you're coloring outside the lines already. Like you're already ruffling feathers just to begin
Yeah.
with. So, are you seeing a
Yeah.
lot of like? Or do you try to tune that stuff out? Do you read the comments? Like, how do you handle that shit?
Yeah. Like you said, there's a point when a video hits a certain aspect where
Yeah,
like good, bad, doesn't matter what it is, you're gonna get like the weirdest
the
type of hate
worst kind
comment
of people.
ever that don't even like make sense.
Nah.
Like, and you're like, how did that? Where does that come from? But
Yeah.
hell yeah, you definitely get the hate comments. I do read the comments sometimes. Um, and when I see like a hate comment, that's just like I'll either leave it or just delete it because I don't want
Yeah.
to. I don't want that type of energy on my shit
Yeah.
because you know some people are like cockroaches,
Oh yeah.
you know. And when they see that there's more cockroaches, it's like a fucking infestation of
Mm-hmm.
other cockroaches wanting to come around and
Mm-hmm.
also troll and also say negative shit,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like I kill the cockroaches early because like I don't do that shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if you got something positive to say it. If you don't, keep it to yourself. But I've been getting really good feedback on this track. I'd say like 80% of it is 85% of it is all positive, and then 15% has just been a bunch of just fucking idiots.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I'll post a video and like it'll be something not even like super controversial or like nothing like triggering really, and most comments will be positive. But yeah, it'll hit that certain mark. You'll get a certain like if it goes viral, then all of a sudden you just get like people just talking shit. Like, dude, it's not that serious, man. We're talking about Paramore here or something. It's not like we're
Isn't
talking
that funny?
about anti-vaccine shit or anything, whatever. You know, it's like
Yeah, it's like a safety net. When a
yeah,
video hits a certain viralness, the haters feel more safe to
yeah,
talk shit because they feel less seen.
right,
Because there's
100%.
so much viewership and attraction towards it that they feel, oh, okay, I could throw in a little jab here,
Yeah, he's
you
not
know?
gonna see this. He's not gonna
Yeah,
respond. Like, yeah.
yeah.
So people suck.
Yeah, no, they hella suck, man. But I owe everything as of right now in terms of like getting my music heard to TikTok
Yeah.
because being independent. I mean, fuck, man. Like some people have shit do well for them on like Instagram Reels, right, or
Hmm.
YouTube Shorts. But I'm really having just success on TikTok. Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what we were talking about in the very beginning. Is like TikTok is just a great platform for discovering music because people aren't going there to discover music, but they'd end up doing it, and it's just such an organic way to fall in love with a new artist and find a new song that you love. It's a great platform for that, and they really nailed that. And yeah, there's a lot of artists owe a lot to, like you said, owe a lot to that platform. That was like a big launching pad for a lot of careers, and it's really cool to see that anybody can, like, not anybody but like somebody with talent and the right vibe and brand whatever can get seen and heard without having to drop thousands and thousands of dollars on ads and all that shit.
Yeah, because that's the other thing too is like you could even spend all this money on ads,
Hmm.
it just doesn't convert.
Right. Right.
Like the literally the most best long term lasting lucrative sincere conversion is just if you're able to have something organically go viral.
Yeah.
You
Dude, I remember having people all the time pitching to me like, "Oh, you need to do like Instagram ads, story ads for your music, blah blah blah." And like, I'm like, "Okay, that might work, but dude, like, I don't know about you, but I've never in my life clicked on an Instagram story ad for a band. Like, I've never been like, "Oh, cool," and then gone to it. It's like
Yeah.
I don't do that. It shows up
And
organically, then cool. But
dude, I tried and being new, and this is what happens, right?
yeah,
A new artist comes into the scene, right? They don't know shit.
yeah,
And they start working hard on some sort of other side job so they have money to do their music career,
mm-hmm,
right? And they may meet someone who they put their trust in, and that person may have sincere, like, guidance of how to try to guide this new artist.
yeah,
um and that's kind of like what happened with me is like when I was new, I had somebody where like they were kind of supposed to be the more knowledgeable person and guide me, and I trusted them, let them do it. But dude, I fucking burned through money on fucking ads and just
yeah,
different shit, and not knowing, and then someone else telling me like, this is how it works, this is what you do for it, like this is how you grow. I'm like, okay, we'll do that. And it was honestly just, I'm sure it had some sort of effect, but it just would have been better to just be like, you know I don't know, just, but at the time too, TikTok really in 2020 wasn't quite the thing yet.
right, right,
It was like that was still more of a dance thing, is how people looked at it, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it was hard, right? Because you're like, okay, well, what do I do? I want to get my music heard. I want to grow as an artist. What
Yeah.
else do I do then when
That
I
was a
post
weird
that
time. That
doesn't go viral? You
Yeah.
know?
Right before
So
TikTok launched, that was a weird time for artists because there really wasn't anything. Like Instagram was kind of like dying out as far as like a discovery platform.
yeah,
YouTube
right.
had no algorithm really. Like,
So it's kind of, I kind of wondered myself, like, if Instagram is how it is right now,
hmm,
which doesn't allow you to really get much reach most of the time, how the fuck would a new artist really like move?
right.
I
Yeah.
don't know, because YouTube doesn't have that reach
No.
anymore, like not at all. I mean,
Right.
YouTube videos used to sometimes do billions of streams, like a billion
Yeah.
views, or hundreds of millions, like that. If someone gets 100 million on a video now, it's like massive.
Yeah.
Like Taylor Swift is like the only artist doing that.
Right.
It's just not as much of a viral platform. Instagram's not as much of a viral platform. TV is not like
Yeah.
what it
Forget that,
was. So it's like,
man.
so that's why, like, for me, I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like, if TikTok didn't exist, like, because right now all of my new reach and reaching people, and the conversions of TikTok to streaming and
Yeah.
everything, new fans, is it's all because of TikTok. If it weren't for
Right.
TikTok, like, I don't know what a lot of new artists would be doing, because I know a lot of friends that have been grinding at music way longer than I have, and they have not had the moment until TikTok came around, and they're just fucking, I mean, they full on blown the fuck up just over TikTok.
Yeah, which is great too because if you've been grinding for a minute and then you do blow up on TikTok, then you've got all this shit like ready to go, like all this back catalog. Like, look, like, and that's like you said, like when
Yeah.
just like the Hangman blew up, a couple days ago, and now our fans are going back and discovering Rotten Apple and Two Taker and all this other shit. They're finding all the old Nathan James cuts, and it's great, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what's happening. Like, when you get that one viral moment on a song, all
Hmm.
your other songs start to kill
Yeah,
it. And I still gotta, I talk to people about this all the time, of like, So in this next song I'm dropping, um, I'll drop it in July. It's gonna be called Toxic World, right?
Okay.
And I have this line in there where I go, fast food music get the masses to consume it. Only thing selling out is artists who will use it. Shaking hands, fake fans, compliment your business plan, saturate the market when you hide behind the middleman. Shh. You know?
Nice.
And
It's fire.
like that's so much of what's happening now
Yeah.
is a lot of fast food music
Dude,
and a lot
that's
of fast food art,
that's a very good way to put that, man. Holy
you
shit.
know? Yeah, so like I, I'm I'm very, fuck, my name stands behind my art. Like
Hmm.
look at my resume and shit. Like I'm really into art. I have great, like, my photography is top notch. Um so I'm really into not fast food art,
Yeah.
you know? And I just hate seeing the market saturated with a
Hmm.
bunch of shit,
Right.
because there's a lot of shitty stuff. There's also
Bunch of
a
deep
lot of
fried
good.
bullshit.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of good shit
Yeah.
too. But there's a lot of shitty fucking art, man, and it's
Yeah.
just like saturating the market of things. And that's the con of all the social media stuff.
Right. Of no
For
barrier
the
of entry.
people, yeah, for the people who are making great shit, they might be overlooked because someone else is making some shitty fast food stuff,
Yeah.
but it goes viral and they get the attention. Because I see it all the time. Shitty art, big conversion.
Hmm.
Great art, not a big conversion.
Right.
And that can happen sometimes. And it's just always a bummer to see that when, like, I see an artist who's super talented in whatever art form they're doing. I'm just like, man, how's this motherfucker shit not like everywhere? This is so good.
Yeah.
And then you see someone else who's creating these gimmicks, these
Hmm.
quick little things, short term success art. And you're just like, that's what went viral?
Right.
That this person is making career off of that? Like, that's garbage. And I'm seeing a lot of short term art and success in a lot of artists where it's like, where's that gonna go? And what's gonna happen? Because I feel like that's not timeless art.
Yeah. It tends to fizzle out.
So if something's not timeless art, a lot of that shit will fizzle,
Hmm.
right? And I think eventually I'm hoping that from that effect of what is happening right now, a lot of which is this fast food like art, that people start to realize, okay, we can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like we gotta, it's really about just making great shit that could, potentially be timeless, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely going to be a shift because like any kind of cultural moment, it's like too much of one thing, and then the pendulum kind of swings back the other way, So we're getting bombarded with like short form content and like quick viral shit, and yeah, it might end up swinging back to more of the YouTube days where people crave, the longer form content or like the more like just putting more effort and time into it. I think that's why that might be a good reason why podcasts are so popular now is because people want to sit down and listen to two people have a conversation like we're having right now. All the millions and millions of people out there want to hear this conversation right now.
Let's go, yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it'll probably swing back that way.
Yeah, and like, you know, with with TikTok, right?
Hmm.
There's so many there's so many like just like when it started too, right?
Yeah.
A lot of artists didn't want to be on TikTok because
Oh
they're like,
yeah.
that's corny,
It was like an
right? That's
embarrassing thing
corny.
to do in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, it was corny, right? Because if you were an artist when TikTok started, right, you had to do like corny cheeseball shit,
Right.
whether it be like skits and things like that. And I'm not that type. I'm not the type of guy who's like, let's do skits.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, I did skits trying to make it, and this is your only salvation of how you can maybe get someone to fucking see you and listen. You're like, I have no other option. You're
Yeah.
like backed into a corner, unless you're already successful and you've already made it and you already been doing your thing, you know. So like, I fucking hated it because at first, right, I was
Hmm.
like, man, I gotta make skits. I
Right.
gotta do goofy shit and trends and fucking like fuck that. Like I
Yeah.
hated it, but I did it because I was like, I have to adapt, and this is what the times and the culture wants. So that's what I have to do if I want a shot at trying to do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it got to a point, bro, where I was so fed up. I was like, I don't want to do this. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
done doing music, right? Like, because it's just not working. And I don't want to do this. Is just so not me to do this weird, like, skitty shit.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to a friend, and they go, "Well, what would you want to do? Like, if you could do it, what would you want to do?" I was like, "Bro, I would just love to just fucking just be like walking and just singing my song and just having my lyrics. No weird cornball shit like if you've been in a relationship and
Right.
she broke your heart, this song's for you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like I hate that shit."
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Well, bro, just go do that. Just go fucking film you walking and just singing the lyrics, and that'd be it." And I was like, "I don't know." And so I took my girlfriend out one night, and we just filmed that,
Mm.
and it worked. It
Yeah.
converted. I was like,
It
"What the
was
fuck?" I'm like, "Let's
authentic.
go." So I was like, "All right, I'll try it again." And I
Yeah.
tried it again. And then you next thing you know, Medusa and Tooth Taker started going viral on TikTok. I was like, "Holy shit!" This whole time I was overthinking the process of like,
Right.
what's this like great skit or story idea that I can do where I do all this dumb shit that leads up to here's the song.
Yeah.
Let's go listen to it. When it was just like, show my outfit, show me full body, me performing a part of song. That's it. You
Right.
like it or not, fuck off. You know,
Yeah.
and that's what's worked. You know,
Dude,
of
it's
just being like, cut all the bullshit, no corny shit. This is
mhm.
it. If it works, it works.
Yeah, and because people crave authenticity, and like some people that make those skits and those jokes and stuff like that, that is them being authentic because they do enjoy
Exactly.
making that shit. So that's why it works for them. But like you said,
Yeah.
I was the same way, man. Like when I got on TikTok, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do on here. Like I don't want to make like little comedy sketches and shit. That's not what I want to do. Like trying to figure out my
Yeah.
way about around like even back in the day, like I wouldn't even tell people I was on TikTok in the beginning, because that shit was like
Yeah, isn't
embarrassing.
that crazy?
Yeah.
It was like a thing of like, you're doing TikTok, dude?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's not cool.
It's like you're on drugs or something. Like, oh my god, he's on
Yeah,
TikTok.
yeah, yeah. But now the mindset's totally shifted.
Yeah.
You know, you're an artist and you're not on TikTok, you're fucking up. You
Right,
know,
right, right. Yeah, you're
which is
dropping the
true.
ball.
Yeah, which is super true.
Well, we should probably wrap this up here. We don't wanna take up too much bandwidth because that's the thing, right?
Yep.
uh, but yeah, man. So you got the tour coming out with ICP. That's fucking dope. You're gonna be hanging out with the Juggalos.
Oh yeah,
Hell
big juggalos,
yeah,
and they're it's gonna be wild. I can't
yeah,
wait.
yeah. And you got a new song coming out at the end of June. You said or July?
End of July.
Okay,
Yeah, it's gonna be called Toxic World. That'll be the next one. It's gonna be a good follow up to the Hangman. Kind of
very
similar
cool.
pocket but different.
Very cool. And where can we find you guys? Or find you at? I mean, obviously that Nathan James, but all the social
Yeah,
media.
everything Nathan James. That's Nathan James
Cool.
everywhere.
Awesome, man. You got any final words of wisdom for anybody listening?
Yes, one thing I live by, super heavy. No excuse, just produce.
Hell yeah.
It get you very far. Those simple 4 words, just get shit done, make it happen. No excuse, just produce.
Love it, man. Love it. Well, dude, thanks for taking the time to chat with me, man. I know you got a lot going on. I know you got a lot of projects. So I appreciate you squeezing me in here between your next project you're about to start, probably.
Yeah, bro. I shot the video for it yesterday, so
Hell yeah.
last night.
Hell yeah, dude.
Um,
I will make sure to send that over to me when you got it. I'd love to check it out.
yep, I'll send it to
Cool.
you.
All right, brother. It was good talking to you. Take it easy.
Fuck yeah. Did it? Oh,
Yep.
peace.
Peace.